I need somebody to write my wedding vows. I heard you're a writer now, and I thought it'd be great to work with an old friend."
An old friend? The woman was clearly smoking something illegal.
"So, what have you written? Anything I've heard of?"
As a matter of fact, I had written an ad she might very well have heard of, or at least seen. It's been on bus stops all over town. But it wasn't exactly the kind of ad that leaves people awestruck. I wrote, "In a rush to flush, call Toilet Masters." I waited for Patti's patented, "Ew, gross," the line which she tarred many a fragile ego at Hermosa High. But instead, I heard,
"Really? I saw that in the Yellow Pages. It's very cute."
"Alert the media. A compliment from Catty Patti?"
"So, how about it, Jane? You think you'd be interested?"
"Well,
"I was thinking of paying somewhere in the neighborhood of $3,000.
call the movers. That was my kind of neighborhood." "That sounds terrific, Patti. I'd love to do it."
"Wonderful," she gushed. "I know we're going to have so much fun."
We agreed to meet the next day, and I hung up, not quite believing what had just happened. This certainly wasn't the same Queen of Mean I'd known in high school. Was it possible Patti had changed over the years? Why not? People changed all the time. I had to stop being such a cynic and give her the benefit of the doubt. Somewhere along the line, Patti Marshall had obviously morphed into a decent human being. And more important, a decent human being who was willing to enrich my bank balance by $3 grand. And so, I embarked on my new assignment filled with hope and good cheer, much like, I imagine, Dr. Graham must have felt before reaching for Prozac's privates. Chapter 2. I arranged to meet Patti the next day at her parents' home in Bel Air. Back in Hermosa, Patti had lived in a fabulous beachfront house, a gleaming white affair with unobstructed views of the Pacific. A house, needless to say, I'd never been invited to. As nice as Patti's Hermosa house had been, it was a virtual shack compared to her new digs in Bel Air. As I drove up the leafy pathway to the estate, a sprawling manse with more wings than a condo complex, I could practically smell the scent of freshly minted money in the air. I parked my ancient Corolla in the motor court and checked my reflection in the rearview mirror. It was a glorious day, sunny and clear, and I was grateful that my hair, which usually turns to Brillo at the first sign of humidity, was mercifully frizz-free. I fluffed it into what I hoped was a Sarah Jessica Parker-ish nimbus of curls, then sucked in my gut and headed for the front door. A Hispanic maid in a starched white apron answered the bell. "I'm here to see Patti," I said. "I'm Jaine Austen, her writer." "Another one?" She rolled her eyes and ushered me into a foyer bigger than my living room, complete with double marble staircase and a crystal chandelier the size of a Volkswagen. "Miss Patti," she called up the steps. "The writer lady is here." Patti's voice drifted from above.
"I'll be right down."
"Good luck." The maid shot me a sympathetic smile and scurried away. I was standing there, counting the crystals in the chandelier, when I heard the clack of heels on the marble stairs. I looked up, and there she was, Patti Marshall, Hermosa High's very own Cruella de Vil. I'd been hoping she'd put on a few pounds since high school like the rest of us mere mortals. But if anything, she'd lost weight. Life sure isn't fair, isn't it? Unlike most high school prima donnas, Patti had never been a conventional beauty. Her face was a little too long, her eyes just a little too close together. But there was something about the way she carried herself, the way she looked at you through those close-set eyes, that had you convinced she was a stunner. She made her grand entrance now, sweeping down the stairs in body-hugging capris and a tank top. Her gleaming blonde hair, always her best